Welcome back to another camera channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the new Skypanel Pro. So this is the new ARRI Skypanel Pro, and it was announced at IBC September 2024, so just last year, and if you were lucky enough to go, you may have even seen it on the show floor. It is being marketed as the next generation of the S60C, which was released back in 2015, and has been the industry staple of soft lighting since then. So after 10 years of the original S60C, what's changing in this replacement? Well, the main differences are that it's 20% brighter than the previous generation and has gone through quite a bit of a redesign. So the power supply unit has been moved internally, making it easier to transport, rig, and set up. With the original S60C, you had this detachable power supply unit. And while that worked pretty well, while it was attached onto the back, it shifted the center of mass, making it sometimes difficult to rig. Now with this integrated design, you have the center of mass exactly where you need it. And you get the added bonus of only needing one power cable. What's also new with this redesign is they've moved the controls from the center position to the bottom right here, and they've also added an additional Ethernet port and also a USB-C port here, which is used for uploading picture profiles, updates, and also as a very expensive phone charger. No, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know much about ARRI lighting fixtures, and this is one of the first times I've actually had a chance to actually play with them. But I've been given a chance by ARRI to make a quick video about this new fixture, and who's gonna say no to ARRI? So the Skypanel Pro is an RGBW panel fixture offering a CCT range of 2800 Kelvin to 10,000 Kelvin with green magenta shift. It has 4 pixel zones for more lighting options and effects. Here's the isolated red, green, and blue chips, and here's the older S60C design for comparison. Now I've had a good chance to play with this light today, and as a first-time user of a Skypanel pretty much, I'm very impressed with how it works. There's some cool features in here which you don't get with other lighting manufacturers, and they're definitely tailored more towards the professional end here. I'm definitely not going to benefit from all of these features, but I think they're pretty cool nonetheless. The Skypanel Pro runs the new Li OS system, which is found in the Aputure and the Skypanel X. This is a big upgrade from the original Skypanel and improves communication through either wireless or cable communication, and also the ARRI Lyco app. The controls are pretty much the same as the original Skypanel, so not much has changed there. And like I said, you're getting that better communication through the second Ethernet port, which is used for daisy chaining, which is really handy for virtual production. Speaking of virtual production, if you use a Skypanel Pro, in Unreal Engine, you get something called the Digital Twin, which is basically a lighting fixture in Unreal, which will mimic exactly what this feature does in the real world, and vice versa. Now, I don't do any virtual production, but I think that is a really cool feature. And apparently you get digital twins for the Aputure and Skypanel X as well. So using the Lyco app here, I have options for CCT, HSI, XY, RGBW, gel selections, source matching, lighting effects, and Q mode. And this works pretty much exactly how you expect it to work. You have your intensity right there, which is really, really bright. You have your hue choices here and also saturation. And you can choose what color you're desaturating to, whether it be 2800 Kelvin all the way up to 10,000 Kelvin with a green and magenta shift. Now the Skypanel Pro has 4 light engines and 2 lighting controllers, giving you 4 different quadrants of control here, and as you can see on this cop car effect, they're put to good use. All the lighting fixtures that I personally own only have like a single panel of control, so this is a really cool feature that I like. What's also been improved in the Skypanel Pro is the low dimming as well, as that isn't a trend nowadays. It's not just all about brightness, it's also about how low you can dim. And this is 0.1%, and I can't even tell that this is even on. And this is 100%. Now, like I said before, I'm not really a user of the Skypanels, but I've had a chance to play with the old one today and also this new one. And from what I can tell, this is a big, big improvement. The Skypanels aren't that heavy, and the new one comes in at exactly 15 kilograms. And you can definitely tell with this new version that ARRI has been listening to a lot of user feedback, because one thing I have been told, which was a massive pain point for users, was the way that you couldn't stand up the light fixture without rotating the yoke and maybe disconnecting the cables to actually get it to stand up by itself on the floor. That has been fixed in this new version, and you can see by the handles here that whichever way the yoke is facing, up or down, you can easily place this on the floor and it will stay standing up, which is really nice. One thing that I do really like about how ARRI has upgraded this version is that they've allowed you to use all your modifiers or your accessories. They all work with this version as well. So you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of new modifiers. You can easily just undo the top as you would and pull out like your diffusion, for example. And there's also a second slot here for things like your grids or honeycombs and things of that nature. Even the yokes are the same. So really, if you already have a bunch of older S60Cs and you wanted to upgrade to the Skypanel Pro, all you really need is this part of the fixture. You have the same power cable, the same yoke, all the same modifiers and accessories. So that's a really well thought out plan, because one big complaint I always read on forums or on Facebook groups is people having to buy new accessories for newer light generations or new versions of lights. Is always that, here's your new light, now get the new reflectors or soft boxes and stuff like that. So this is a really well thought out idea in my opinion, because it's keeping users happy. Let's say you bought a bunch of Sky panels like 10 years ago and they're still working now, and you wanted to get a few of these new upgraded fixtures. You can do that and still use all of the older stuff that you've purchased along that 10-year journey, which is really nice. And it also reduces waste as well, which is becoming a kind of a hot topic lately. We want to be able to reuse things and recycle things. So this is a perfect example of how manufacturers could be doing things, and hopefully other manufacturers follow suit. Another design choice which has stayed the same is this groove channel which runs through the back of the fixture, which for the older fixture was where you could attach the external power supply, but you can also use things like center mounting brackets and other accessories here. So another good thing that has stayed the same. The fan system has been redesigned, and now there is no ventilation holes on the top of the chassis here. Air is sucked through this middle portion here and is then ventilated out of the sides. So there's not much more I can tell you about this fixture without repeating what's on the website or in the launch video. So some key notable points that I've noticed as a first time kind of ARRI user. This is actually standard on a lot of the ARRI fixtures, but you have a power in and a power out. This was actually on the older external power unit as well. But what it allows you to do, let's say you have a lot of lights mounted on a ceiling or something, you can run power from the ground or the outlet to one of those fixtures and then daisy chain all the fixtures together. That's a really smart idea. Currently, I need a power outlet for each individual fixture that I mount on the ceiling. So this is a really cool idea. Even though it's not new, this is new to me as someone who has never really used ARRI lights before. During this learning process about the Skypanel Pro, I was introduced to a tool by ARRI which I think every manufacturer should have. So it's called the ARRI Lighting Service Manager. And if you connect your fixtures to a network, you can remote log in to these and basically run diagnostic tests, lighting tests, see when things were calibrated, what kind of firmware settings and everything, do error logs, debugging, that kind of stuff. If you've ever had a problem with your light and you didn't really know what was happening, all you would need to do is fire up this tool, plug in your light, and the light would be telling you what's wrong. I can't tell you how many like Facebook posts I've seen of people having problems with their lights and they have to kind of self-diagnose, and it's usually kind of a guessing game sometimes, like, oh, that's happened to me, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. So having a tool where you can plug your fixture in, it tells you what the problem is, and then you can send that information directly to the manufacturer. Is this not a genius idea? This tool also allows you to batch upgrade if you select a group of the same fixtures, which is really nice. And I just really love that ARRI has given that kind of trust and power to their customers, that they can maintain and look after the lights in the best possible way. So who do I think this is aimed for? Well, as the next generation of the S60C, I'm guessing it's more for the kind of broadcast and studios that are using these types of lights anyway, and they may have had them for a very long time, and they may be looking to upgrading them in some way. Probably more in the communication sense. It seems that there are big upgrades with the communication in these devices. There's something called Clay Pakey or something Cloud IO, which is this big batch upgrading solution. So if you have hundreds of lights, you can upgrade everything without needing to even touch the fixture. It should be all done remotely, which is very cool. Now, as I don't have 400 lights, that's not going to be beneficial to me in any kind of way, but it's still a very cool idea. The Skypanel Pro only has an IP rating of 20, so it's not built for outside use. Basically, there's no water protection, and the only protection is for something the size of your finger or something like that. So this is definitely not what you're going to be purchasing if you go outside a lot in inclement weather. The Skypanel X will be a way better choice for you there. But for people who have studios or broadcast stations or virtual production, this is definitely who this is targeted for. Now, ARRI isn't the cheapest, as we know. It's not the most budget-friendly kind of lighting fixtures. But if you think about it, the S60Cs that were made in 2015, apparently the majority of them are still working. So if you think about that, a 10-year investment minimum. If you're looking for quality, if you're looking for reliability, then ARRI is definitely the way to go. And I don't even think you need to take my word for it. Just look at any kind of professional studio, look at how many ARRI sky panels they have, and that right there basically proves my point. So in summary, is this the cheapest light? No, but it's not the most expensive one either. It is cheaper than the Skypanel X. And if you are working in studios and you're never going into the rain, this is probably a very good option. So overall, I really enjoyed learning about the Skypanel Pro. If I had more expendable income to spend on more lighting fixtures, this would definitely be on my radar because they'd be perfect for the studio and any interview corporate jobs that we'd be doing. Hopefully in the future, I get the chance to make videos about other ARRI fixtures. So hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. If you are also new to sky panels like I was, hopefully this video was useful to you. I've personally found it really useful to learn more about this industry standard light. And I want to say a huge thank you to ARRI Korea for allowing me to borrow the only Skypanel Pro in the country right now to make this quick video. Even though it's not a real in-depth review, which would need a little bit more time, I've learned a lot about it. I hope you have as well. And they also lent me a bunch of lights for the background here. So we've got a bunch of orbiters lighting me up and other sky panels as well. So let me know about this setup compared to what I usually use. Which do you like best? Leave it in the comments below. So thanks again to ARRI Korea for allowing me to make this video on the Skypanel Pro. I'm very, very fortunate and probably one of the only people who has been able to make a video about this so quickly. Thanks to you for watching this video. Subscribe for more content just like this. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.